Hey guys, it's Jeff from Magnolia Photography, SC, wildlife photographer in Charleston, South Carolina. So the game plan for today was to go to Bulls Island here in South Carolina, but it's a pretty overcast day and they are calling for potential thunderstorms. So I decided that I am going to forego going to Bulls Island. First time I would have been there. I'm not sure what they have for shelter. It is a barrier island, so you have to take a ferry over there. They drop you off and then they come back and pick you up like 3 or 4 hours later. So the last thing that I wanted to do was take all this equipment out, have a thunderstorm, be stuck out there with no shelter or something along those lines. So I think I'm going to hold it off until tomorrow to go. I'm going to try to go tomorrow. I think they're calling for less chances of a thunderstorm or rain, like 10%, so it'll be very little. I know here at Boone Hall, which is where I am revisiting once again, I just put out a video about Boone Hall and my adventures here last time, and we had some good stuff. So I'm hoping for some more good things to come today, but they do have a shelter over here should any rain or thunderstorms roll through here. And so just want to make sure that I am protected, of course. Just heard something coming out of the water. As you know from last video, there's a lot of gators here, and so I don't like to keep my back to the water for too long because there are several big gators right over here behind me, just kind of sunning themselves, and hopefully they're just being lazy. But it's weird because this time of year, late April, May, the gators, it's mating season for them, and so they get a little squirrely and they start doing crazy things. They start walking around in places that they normally wouldn't walk around. So I don't want some kind of loony gator trying to mate with me or doing anything else to me. So we're just going to keep our eye to the pond occasionally just to make sure no one's sneaking up on me because they move very stealth-like. Lots of birds out here today already. Walking in, I saw some white ibises, some juvenile white ibises, saw the roseate spoonbill, which is that pink bird that was in the video last time I was here. So it does seem to be some early activity here. I'm loving the lighting right now because it is overcast. Normally this pond is just drenched in sunlight, so birds, come on out because the lighting is good right now to capture some good clean images in some nice lighting. So looking forward to that. All right, guys, thanks for joining me today. I will keep you updated as we go through today. But once again, we are visiting Boone Hall Plantation here in South Carolina. Hey guys, so I just switched my position here around the pond, went around over here to my right, and had some action from the wood ducks, which I always enjoy. They are such a beautiful duck. Had some of them in flight, both female and male, and then I had some males land in a tree not too far from me. Interestingly, I was pretty close to them, and they didn't just take off, which they usually do. They're a pretty skittish bird, but I think fortunately I was already established there. I have a great white egret flying right at me right now. Saw me and just took a hard right. But at any rate, the wood ducks tend to be pretty damn skittish, and it doesn't take much to get them to leave the area. But 3 of them wound up flying into this tree and hanging out there. So I was able to get some portrait type shots as well as some in-flight type shots. Looking at the screen, they look pretty good, but as you know, as I always say, it really doesn't matter until we get back and look at these on the big screen to see what we have, right? Make sure that focus is good, make sure that we got good composition, make sure we didn't clip any of the wings out of the frame, stuff like that that we're looking for. But at any rate, there was some good activity with the wood ducks. And so that's pretty awesome. You might have noticed that I am wearing a different harness today. I did get the cotton carrier. It just came in the other day. And so I've been using it a couple times around my property in those early morning walks that I take. But today is going to be the first real test of it to see how it feels with an extended session of wildlife. I plan on being out here for many, many hours today. But so far, I am really loving it. I definitely love the area where the camera goes into. It's much shorter than the Nicama harness, which just makes it easier coming in and out. It's locked really well. But what I really like about the holster on this particular vest is that when you take the camera out, it's pretty quiet. The Nicama, when you took it out, it had a really loud, like metal clicking sound. And if you were walking around and you stumbled across something and you wanted to photograph it, without fail, every time I took the camera out, you'd hear that click and the bird was gone. They don't like that sound at all. So this particular harness, though, does not make that noise. That is, to me, that is a very small thing, but that's a huge upgrade. The fact of being able to be a lot more quiet when putting your camera in and out, that's huge. That's huge for me. But I'm really liking the vest. It fits better. It just feels definitely better materials, better quality than the Nicama. But again, we're talking about $130 to $30. So this is what you get when you spend $100 more. You get better materials. You get a better product. But I'm really loving it so far, and so I hope that it stays pretty comfortable throughout the day as we stay out here for a pretty long session today. But here come the wood ducks back, so I'm gonna turn off the video now and hopefully see if I can be a little bit quiet and get them to come a little closer to me. Well, it's happening. We are getting a downpour right now. I just had to pick everything up and bring it underneath this big tent that they have here. Thankfully, it's very close, but this is what I was talking about. If I was at Bull's Island right now, I don't think there's any shelter there. I'd probably be huddling underneath a tree right now with all my gear. And it's a heavy rain, so it's not one of those that you can, just kind of withstand a little bit, right? If your gear gets a little wet, your bag gets a little wet with some rain, that's no big deal. But when it is just a complete deluge like it is right now, you just can't keep anything dry. And so thankfully this tent's here. There's also a protective shelter behind my back over here, way back. Close enough I could have got to it certainly, but all right, we're just gonna wait it out right now, and hopefully this just passes and we'll be back out shooting soon. And I'm hoping that the birds start going crazy. They were squawking like nuts when the rain started, so that was pretty interesting. And so I'm hoping that they're gonna wanna dry off or do something and fly around. I got something that just wants to keep landing on me right now. So I'm hoping that they're gonna wanna fly around and dry off after and get these wings dry. So hopefully we'll get some good shots. All right, be back soon. Hey guys, well, I am still sitting under the protection of this tent from the rain that continues to come down. It keeps slowing up. Actually, it's getting a little bit sunny out, and then all of a sudden it just downpours once again. And of course, being in the South, the downpours are unique, right? Because it's like a tropical storm when the skies just open up and it starts raining like this, and it's really difficult. There have been a few times where it's let up a little bit and I've gone out to just grab a few shots. I got some of the roseate spoonbill hanging out by the side of the pond. He finally flew over here. He was down way over by a bridge a while ago, and I think I got some pictures of him when I came in for a little bit from a distance, and then just got some here in the pouring rain. A couple small birds bathing in some puddles and stuff like that. But I go out and then it starts to pour rain and I got to run back into the tent. So hopefully this clears out soon. I keep looking at the radar. There's really not much on there. I don't know where the hell the rain is coming from, quite honestly, at this point, but it just keeps coming and coming and coming. I really hope that this isn't going to be how the rest of the day goes, because really looking forward to doing some wildlife today. So we'll see what we got. So just continuing to try to capture some stuff here. There's an osprey in the area. He's hanging back behind me, and a tree way across that pond. So I'm hoping that he is going to want to maybe get something to eat, do some fishing, and hang over this area. So that's what I'm banking on right now. We've got some white ibises, juvenile and adult, that have flown over here. They're up in a tree where I really can't get to them. The branches are just blocking them. So I'm hoping that they're gonna come out into the open as well. Haven't had some ibises in a while. I got a couple more of the roseate spoonbill and some of the Canada geese. So they were doing a little bathing. So we'll see how those come out. You know, they're not the most interesting of species, but nonetheless, they're doing something, and you know, that's kind of interesting. So hopefully it looks kind of cool. Just got an alligator. He's probably about 50 feet from me right now in this water, but kind of got a cool profile view of him, like through some of that clover grass that's behind me. Probably can't make that out in the video, but we'll see how that comes out too. And we're just gonna hang around here. The rain has stopped right now. It continues to sprinkle just a little bit on and off, but it doesn't look like anything too threatening right now. So hopefully it stays that way and we can get some more time in today, because we lost probably a good hour here with the rain. So a little bit of a bummer. You know, it's always nice to have some decent weather when you come out here, but you kind of got to deal with what you're given. And hopefully I got a couple cool rain shots, and some wood ducks just went flying by. All right, so at any rate, we're gonna see what we can catch. So I was walking around the pond, trying to just get some different shots, and I had something lined up in my my viewfinder, and all of a sudden I heard the big splash, and I looked over. The osprey went into the water. I did not get the splash shot because that was obviously what got my attention, but I got him as he just got out of the water. He's got a big fish. I think we've got some cool shots. Ospreys, you know, when they go in and they grab that fish and they come out of the water, they fly a little bit, and then they do this big shake off, right? Where they shake their whole bodies to get that water off of their feathers and stuff. But it looks like I got that shot from the shots that I can see in the viewfinder, and it looks like I got a bunch of shots with him leaving. Looks like he got a pretty decent sized fish. I'm not a big fisherman, so I really don't know what the fish was. And there go the ibises. You can probably see them flying behind me. Crap. But at any rate, I don't know what fish he had, but again, it's a pretty decent sized fish. I think it's more fatter than it was longer. And here we go. We got some rain coming in again as I'm doing this video right now. But at any rate, excited to see what we're going to have with the osprey and the fish and that moment of catching the shake off. I hope everything is in focus. I hope everything looks good, and super excited to be checking those out. So we'll see what we can catch here. Hopefully the rain doesn't get much heavier than what we have right now. thundered a few times. The rain started to pick up a little bit, and then suddenly it just stopped. So I didn't leave. I am now photographing some juvenile white ibises, and there is an alligator over by them. And I'm not convinced that this alligator isn't being patient as hell and going to spring on one of them. He keeps just keeping his head a little bit above water, and he's watching him, and then he goes under. Then he resurfaces and locates them again, and then goes back under. They're kind of in that clover kind of grass that grows in the water, so I don't know if he's waiting for them to come out of that, makes it an easier attack for him. I don't know. I don't know how that works for alligators. But there's two of them over there, and I'm just watching the action. I mean, the ideal thing would be for the alligator to make a move on them and they get away. I would hate to see one of them hurt. That is the reality of wildlife sometimes, though. It can be cruel and it can be harsh out here. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to continue to watch this and see if the alligator decides to make a move on him.